What you just witnessed is called alternate spamming, otherwise known as alt spamming. Alt spamming is a special type of skill that requires players to alternate with both hands to spam quicker and more consistently, ultimately allowing players to go from this to this. But wait, hold on, wait a minute. How did we even get to this point? Well, to answer that, we need to travel back nearly 7 years. Back in December 14th of 2015, a YouTuber by the name of Aether Dark decided to upload their first video of a series called Hitter Click. Wait a minute. Nigga, does that say Hitler Click? Okay, you know what? Moving on, this does cement a big moment in history as the beginning of jitter clicking in GD. Aether Dark kept posting his Hitter Click series, getting all the way up to number 14 in the series. However, not much would happen with jitter clicking for about another year, until... It's now March 15th, 2019. A new YouTuber enters the mix and posts his first video showing off his jitter clicking skills and challenges, and that man went by the name of Toby. While Aether Dark happened to be one of the earliest users of jitter clicking in GD, Toby had been the one to boost the popularity of jitter clicking, with just his third video in his series getting 1.5 million views. Toby would then go on to eventually shift his focus of content from the games he used to play to GD, while still sprinkling in some other games. Eventually, though, Toby would face off against an important figure in the history of alt spamming. It's now October 6th of 2021, 2 years later. Toby would 1v1 another YouTuber being You Fucking What Mate, otherwise known as UFWM, as I'll be referring to him as. And, hold on, wait a minute. What is he doing? It's like he's alternating his hands instead of just jitter clicking? Well, okay, that can't be right. That can't be more consistent than just jitter clicking, right? Okay, hold on. Let me see how long he's been doing this for 7 years. Yeah, it turns out while jitter clicking was becoming more popular, alternating was always there, sitting in the corner waiting, being utilized by only very few people, and the most popular of that being UFWM. Okay, well, it can't be that good. Who goes on to win? Oh. Yeah, UFWM won 10-2. He blew Toby out of the water. Damn. Okay, shifting our focus to UFWM. What exactly has alternating allowed him to do since his strategy of alternating clearly worked against Toby? Well, he was a bit ahead of his time because he was doing this back in 2020, a whole 2 years before alternating really took off, but we'll get back to that. Right before UFWM uploaded that video, he verified Diamond Blade, which is a level by Ice Cave, which is known for its layout theme, hard wave sections, and the song.
Furious masturbation.
Okay, anyway, the notable part to look at is the last 20% requiring 10 plus CPS. Now, jitter clicking would have done just fine for the orb part. However, there was a wave following that spam that threw the player into a consistent wave corridor. If only there was a way that something could be quick enough to get past the orbs, but also consistent enough to get past the wave corridor. See, the issue with jittering is that while it was fast, it also led to the player's hand slipping off the mouse if their hand wasn't a certain way. They fatigued way quicker than if they were alternating, and it was just straight up barely controllable without a lot of experience. Alternative spamming, on the other hand, gave that perfect balance of consistency and speed that UFWM needed to eventually verify Diamond Blade. A year would then come and go, with UFWM creating some insane clips along the way that garnered hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of views, eventually teaching Aeon Air his ways of spamming. This then, though, brought some attention to alternative spamming and led to the creation of the Spam List. This list contains, as stated in the name, the hardest spam levels in GD. I mean, just look at some of these levels, dude. And the only way most of these, if not all of these levels got verified is with alternate spamming. One of these challenges sticks out more than the rest though, and that is unnerved Sakupin Circle spam. This is a spam part from a level called Sakupin Circles, which before a certain point in time was deemed humanly impossible to ever be completed. However, if it was possible for 58% to 66% to be done separately, maybe, just maybe, it was possible for humans to conquer Sakupin Circles. Now, I won't fully go over the history of Sakupin Circles because a really good documentary has already been made on that. However, I will go briefly over the process of how it led to alternate spamming and where it is today. On December 29th, 2021, the pro player Diamond would upload his verification of nerfed Sakupin Circles. While this was a monumental moment for the community being a new top 1, players in the back of their mind still had the unnerfed version, which eventually faded as everyone was focused on different achievements. However, there was one player that had that thought stuck in their mind. He wanted to do the impossible and prove how alternate spamming could beat unnerved Sakupin Circles. Saying hello to AD3S GMD, which I'll just be referring to as AD, a player who in February of 2025 uploaded his completion of nerfed Sakupin Circles. However, this is not where he wanted his journey with Sakupin Circles to end, because 2 days later, on the 15th of February, AD would then go on to upload their 65 to 100% run on the unnerfed version of Sakupin Circles. Impressive, however, it was something the community had seen before, but AD knew that, and he knew the community wanted more, and so did he. The following month, he would upload his 65% death on unnerved Sakupin Circles, officially having the level in 2 runs, but more importantly, nearly passing the spam from 0. AD must have been feeling like the King Von of GD because literally a couple of days later, he would upload his run of 58 to 100, passing the spam and getting to the end of the level. Again, impressive, but something the GD community had once again already seen. But still, AD kept pushing, getting insanely consistent at the spam, even doing it 2 times in a row in a run, and then passing it from 0 right after that. Clearly this consistency was working because not even a month later, AD would go on to verify the unnerved version of Sakupin Circles. This achievement was so unbelievable that the verifier of nerfed Sakupin Circles, Diamond, barely even knew that this could be done. But of course, with the art of alternate spamming, it could be done. Nowadays, most top players can alternate, as Thinking Space 2 requires some alternation, which could very much be the start of alternating being a more prominent part of upcoming top 1s, or levels in general. Zeus GD has a really great video on this. Alternating has come such a long way over the course of 10 years that its popularity and usage doesn't seem that it has slowed down at all, especially since YouTubers are making their own journey on how to alternate.